if you're just now joining us, we had, I think this is safe to say, the shortest best of 5 that we've ever casted here in Korea.
Probably.
That was under an hour.
It was very, very fast.
Yeah.
PvP 3-0 for Deer. Trap. Well, he got slam tastes. His traps never sprung, that's for sure.
No, I don't even think he laid any traps at all.
No, it didn't look like it. Well, goodbye, Trap. At least you get a seed for next season. He played really well this season.
His name's an anagram for part. That's all he had with the parts, man. No traps at all.
Well, what about Deer? He read those traps, which is also an anagram.
Ooh, you one-upped me, man. Well done. Well, I mean, there's not much to say. If you want to see some solid PvP play, check those out. If you want to see... actually, no, the games are good, even though it was 3-0.
I dare you to come up with one more anagram for Deer.
Well, I have to see them. What? Do you have one in mind?
Dare.
Oh, that sucks.
I gave it to you, Tastus, and you still couldn't do it.
Our two players have shaken hands, and this is really the match of the day. The match, to be frank, probably of the round of 8.
God, it could be the match of the tournament.
This could have been a finals had these guys been in different sides of the bracket. Yay!
GSL!
Starcraft! Smarts, yeah! So we got Soulkey against Rain here. Now, Soulkey is the best Zerg in the whole world.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against that, Tasteless. He was like, what about DRG? Shut up!
It's not
Soulkey.
DRG.
It's Soulkey.
DRG couldn't get this far. Soulkey can. But this is a tough match here. Now Soulkey, one thing about Soulkey is there's nothing about his play that sticks out so much. Instead, it's that he is so perfect in all the categories.
Yeah. He's I would call him a reactive Zerg, and I would... He's so full package, he can do absolutely everything.
You know when you face like the final boss in an RPG, and it's not really like there's this one thing that they do that kills you. It's like, well, he's got all his moves are good. He's got a life regen. He can like animate a clone of himself. He can he has this a nuking move that wipes out all your party except for one.
You know what he is? He's Seth, the final boss in Street Fighter single player. He just has all the moves.
He's the one that sometimes I still lose to when I play like against the computer, clock on the arcade when no one's there to play me. Yeah. He's Seth, yeah. Now Rain, on the other hand, Rain is very, very...
He's Guile.
Oh my God, he is Guile. Yeah, basically Rain throws slow sonic booms slowly with the knee pushing forward, all right? And then right when you try to get a little bit aggressive, he flash kick cancels out into a grab, pushes you into the corner, rinse, repeat.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah.
And he normally has his bar all the way full until then.
Yeah, the whole time.
All right.
And when he doesn't have it, what he's doing, guys, is he's building bar with his sonic booms.
He builds bar all game.
So if
he's the best bar building Protoss.
So if you only play StarCraft and don't play Street Fighter, you have no idea what you're talking about, and I'm sorry about that. But
well, go play some Street Fighter. It's a great game.
It's a great game. It's a really fun game. Actually, hold on. What do you think the results are going to be here for win and for the score?
I think that Soulkey ends up winning 3-1 or 3-2. That's my guess, because you know what? Like the best Zerg versus Protoss, Rain has to have like some insanely good builds planned. Soulkey is so good at reactive Zerg play. He's going to be so tough to beat. I love Rain to death, man, but I would almost... I don't know. What do you think?
I think Soulkey 3-2.
Okay.
Maybe 3-1 though.
I mean, Soulkey, every time I watch his CDP, I'm like, oh damn, you really know what you're doing. And the thing is, that doesn't mean Rain can't win, but...
Well, the thing about Rain is there's not as much deception with him. And when you're playing against a reactive Zerg, I think deception is a necessity.
And I think you're exactly right. You need to deceive, and you need to be really, really sharp. And while Rain is going to be better at both those than almost all the Protosses, I don't think that's absolutely his like strongest skill points.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. There hasn't been a lot of Rain PVZs around lately. He's been playing mostly Protosses and Terrans anyway, so it's hard to say.
Here's going to be our map lineup. Akalon Waste to start. Set 2, Whirlwind. Set 3, Polar Knight. Set 4, Derelict Watcher, and if we get to set 5, Yunsu.
A lot of these maps play really, really differently on the two sides, so we'll talk about those as we go through these maps.
Yeah, for sure.
The first map, Aqualon Waste, I guess we can start to mention a little bit of that now.
That might be one that Rain will win on, actually.
Definitely could be.
I think out of all the maps that we have, that's probably Rain's best bet to win. And, you know, it's good because he needs that momentum against somebody like Soulkey.
You know, on that map, you're going to get 3 and 4 bases really easy on both sides.
Yeah.
And split map scenarios are rather common. But and that means when you can get 3 or 4 bases really easily, that's going to be really nice for Protoss. But at the same time, if it goes super late, we normally see Swarm Hosts there. And Swarm Hosts are very powerful there. And Soulkey has shown us that as far as ZVP goes, I can't off the top of my head think of someone better with Swarm Hosts than him.
Okay, you beat me to it. I was going to say, I believe he's actually the best Swarm Host user.
I think so.
In the game.
I'm trying to think of someone else that's better, but no one comes to mind.
And I think if we have another map rotation with slightly different maps that are more valley-oriented, with more narrowness that allow for turtling more, I think we'll probably see even more Swarm Hosts play here in general in StarCraft 2.
Swarm Hosts are the future, Tasteless.
Well, looks like it's time to get this game started up here. Soulkey, the perfect Zerg against Rain, the turtling defensive
the
Protoss.
ultimate shield.
Yes. He is Taunt in Hearthstone. He is the origins of Taunt. I guess his army would have
Who's that guy? Greed from Full Metal Alchemist?
Oh, you know what? I didn't do Full Metal Alchemist. I can't volley that one, brother. Sorry.
Oh, man. You messed up.
Sorry, guys. Tasis messed up here at the GSL. Special thank you to our sponsors. Over here in the bottom right, the Zerg that looks invincible. He is
Wongjin Star Soulkey.
And his opponent in the upper left, the Orthodox Protoss player. He is
SK Telecom T1 Rain.
Now, you know, when we talk about Protoss players, out of all the races, the Protoss players, whether it's in Korea or outside of Korea, always have these very different play styles.
They do.
Protoss is a race that allows you to, be very stylistic. It was like that in StarCraft 1 as well. There's a bunch. I could probably talk about this for an hour, but we don't have time to. But it's one of these factors here. Welcome to the studio, nerds. These are handsome guys down there.
That is a handsome audience.
Yeah,
today,
look at that.
Sure, yeah.
We got a good-looking audience today, man. No, but you know, the Protoss actually works in such a way that there's a lot of different ways you can play it, and I don't know if there's really one right way to play it, because as long as it's winning, it works. But
if there was a right way, though,
everybody
would be Reigns.
Sure. If you want to have somebody that's well-rounded and will probably defend against most play styles, I think that Rain is probably that guy. But the problem is Rain's going up against Soulkey, who is as reactive or more reactive than Rain, if that makes sense. So then the problem is you have two players that are very reactive, and Zerg fundamentally gets a little bit of an intel advantage early on.
That's true.
These other factors, I don't know what exactly Rain's supposed to do.
If you look how reactive versus reactive matches up in ZVP overall, wow, that's a couple hatcheries going down right away, by the way. That's an offensive hatchery as well as a hatchery at home, and that's all before pool. Really cool opener here by Soulkey.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, no, I really like that he's opening with this, and I really am excited to see how Rain decides to counteract this, because he's even going gas before his pool. He knows it's going to be a while before he gets attacked.
You know what, I gotta say, I really didn't expect Soulkey to open with this. I'm surprised.
I didn't expect it either, but this is like a nice thing to mix in. If Protoss doesn't deal perfectly with this, they can be in trouble. Now, what does he do against this? We've seen different Protosses have different responses to this. Like, you can go for some sort of gateway attack. We saw Jong be one of my favorite ways to deal with it. He went for a really quick robo, got a Warp Prism and Immortal, and kind of messed around with it a little bit. I thought that was a really great way to play. But with Rain, I know he'll have a plan for this. He will have a plan for this.
And that's the thing, is that Rain is, exactly, he's very reactive. So I'm surprised that Soulkey did a build where he's going to force Rain to start responding immediately instead of just playing a passive game.
And he actually lets it finish. He wants a little bit more creep there.
Yeah, and that is all for the creep. And the Broodling Rush.
Yeah. Let's get one zealot into yellow. Yeah, that's about as much as those can do. Okay, so speed is already on the way. By the time the hatchery is killed, he's getting a couple queens, getting some lings. He's stopped on his gas very smartly. And it's really slowing down this Nexus, which is a problem. Now, Rain is going to walk out, but Speed is going to be finishing, not when he gets there, a little bit after that, of course, but he hasn't taken a third. So, like, what are you going to do? You're going to walk into that natural and deal a lot of damage? You're going to have to end up recalling home. There's going to be enough lings to end up stopping him, surrounding him. He'll have to recall. That'll be a pain. And he has to recall into the main, which means then he has to walk to the natural, which means lings might be able to hit the wall. This is something that could go very wrong for him if he's not careful.
Yeah. Third up and running right now. The pressure is on here. The Mothership Core is now caught up. But, yeah, you're right. With that Ling speed done and a lot of Lings being cranked out, this could be really bad here for Rain.
Well, Rain is too smart for this. He's not going to get surrounded right now. He does not want to have to recall back too quickly. But if you look at this scenario, what does Rain have going for him, really?
Not a lot.
He has a good amount of gas.
Okay, surround! He needs to recall!
Now there's that recall. And there they go, towards that wall in, while everything's up in the main base. So, kind of annoying here for Rain.
Now he does have a sentry there with the with force field available, but he can also warp in more zealots here to attack that third base, and that's put in such a spot. If he has it up, if he maybe does 2 warp ins in a row, he could. And a lot of it would depend on whether or not Zerg actually spots to see if there's chrono boost on the gateways.
That's actually a very good point. If you see those warping in units right now, that means either there's an attack about to start or there's going to be one in a little bit. So.
He actually didn't even do the chrono boost on the gateways.
Okay.
He just wanted to wait until he almost has that next warp in round here.
Well, with 3 zealots and 3 more warping in right now, this is working out quite well for Rain.
Now, yeah, in this angle, he can actually engage quite well. Surround! It's a beat down. So now he's going to go back over to the hatchery here. I think if with the next... Oh, no, I'm sorry. He cannot warp in the next round here.
No, it does get taken out, and he makes another pylon.
Nicely placed there between the geyser and the mineral line.
Wow, look at how many lings he's actually going to end up killing. The thing is, will he actually end up getting the hatchery?
I don't know if that time warp was really worth it.
Yeah,
I don't understand what that was supposed to accomplish.
That time warp actually was not the greatest time warp that I've ever seen. For certain, not the best I've ever seen.
He might as well have flown in 1 Phoenix and picked up a ling.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that great. But he doesn't kill the third, which this is becoming more and more of an issue. If he had killed that, then suddenly Rain is in a great spot. But without killing it, I guess this is the best he can do, take his third base. Oh, that's painful. Now he has to send another probe out. Is that going to get there with these lings afoot?
Well, if he doesn't get there, it's going to be bad. You could see, okay, he had the idea there. Intercept the probe.
Yeah.
But there are roaches out now. Okay. Now, that was a lot of minerals, guys, by the way, he threw at killing that hatchery. I think it almost would have been better if he just targeted that down and lost his zealots.
I'm kind of feeling that as well. The thing is, would he have gotten it? I think he got it.
I think so.
Especially with the...
When he saw the lings attacking the pylon at the top, it's like, yeah, I think he actually gets this.
Well, if he time warps the path going to the hatchery to stop queens from incoming, and just right-clicks on it with the zealots as well as the Mothership Core, I'm pretty sure he ends up killing it. So I have to agree with you there. I think killing that might have been better than trying to take out the lings. But maybe he was a little bit unsure as to how many lings, or if he was just barely not going to kill the hatchery. Because if you right-click on the hatchery, you don't kill it, then you're, ultimate far behind.
Yeah.
Okay, so roach speed coming. A lot more gas is being added right now. We still have no evolution chambers, which leads me to believe that we definitely could be seeing a switch into Mutalisks. Oh, and then evolution chamber and Hydros 10 come up. Okay. Well,
I hate it when that happens.
Well, it was reasonable. It was reasonable. I'm not too embarrassed. As far as Rain goes, getting his blink, getting some attack upgrades.
Yeah.
But what do you exactly plan on doing from here? Okay, a Dark Shrine. That's going to be one way he's going to try to catch up.
Well, he has to do something like this because I think a standard game is not going to yield any results here. He's got a good amount of gates about to finish up here. That'll be warp gates very shortly here. But I think he's going to be hard-pressed to have any map presence. With the DTs out, he's at least forcing Soulkey to spend a lot of money on Overseers, money on Spore Crawlers, and any form of defense. And that's going to be a little bit. It's going to press him a little bit more for the minerals that he wants to spend on that. He's going to spend minerals on that. Excuse me, instead of continuing to tech up at this gradual phase.
Totally. This is... I kind of like what we're seeing right here from Rain Tasteless. The way that he's just kind of poking and prodding out. He's scouting a ton. He's having some amount of map presence right now. I don't foresee this attack doing that much, but if... Oh, he saw the Dark Shrine. Okay. I was going to say that... if you are doing a lot of map presence type things and keeping the Zerg very preoccupied with that, then a lot of times you can just sneak the DTs in because they're so focused on the incoming attack that, well, you don't go DTs while attacking, and that's why this is a fake anyways.
Yeah. The Overseer getting more and more intel here. A Warp Prism about to pop out. Now, he just wants to hold this position down here and not let him get that hatchery up. But at the same time, I don't think Protoss can get out of here unless he recalls.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to recall. But what he is doing, at least, is holding this off from being expanded to. But that's kind of a funny thing.
Pretty cute. He's going to come up here and just try to hit that hatchery.
Oh, he might actually get in the main base? No. He's not going to quite...
No, Artosis. I don't know. Why did we think that?
He's going to expand there? He's going to expand to the 4th base of Soulkey? Wow! But Soulkey actually took a different 4th base, so this is not quite as
I like this, though.
Yeah, this is pretty neat. He actually has only 2 Overseers.
Tasteless likey.
Alright, trying to draw some units up with that.
These DTs, are they still stuck? Oh, okay,
they finally got past, but he sees what's going on now.
That was getting alarming. Now, he needs to kill a lot of drones here. You cannot simply damage the hatchery, which is mostly what Rain's done this entire series. And you know what? He's not even targeting down the drones.
Well, if he gets that hatchery, that'd be pretty huge. Unfortunately, with only 1 DT there, yeah, he's going to easily be able to save it.
All right, 176 supply to 125. No 4th base in sight right now for Rain. And we should be having the 5th here for Soulkey very soon.
And that's an easy 5th to take as well. Going to be kind of hard for Rain to kill that off.
Nice scooping there on the Forge.
Always great to get a goop down.
2 thumbs up.
Okay. Well, a little DT warping in the main base. He's just trying to get anything done he can. Ooh, it loses the Warp Prism.
Okay, this is a lot of capital he's invested into this with no return.
And not just that, at 134 supply in a scenario like this, a lot of times when you lose Warp Prisms, this far into the game, you're like, oh, that's fine. I'll just make another one. But that's because you have excess minerals. Here he doesn't. Here he's actually kind of behind in every category, so even losing a Warp Prism right now is more painful than normal.
Yeah. Well, it's when he's just investing so much. Well, hold on, actually. It looks like the Zerg's about to do a serious attack up here. Now he's going to have his 5th base up and running, and now he's going into the endgame attack. Perhaps he won't attack. Perhaps he's just going to try to clean up everything else on the map and keep Protoss in the dark.
I think he'll at least do a little bit of a push. Go up the ramp, see if you can grab a Colossus maybe, get the Forge if possible. Any buildings that are up there that are important. It looks like now that's a little bit too far back to get the Forge, but...
Anything to clear this up, because he can start making Swarm Hosts. He's already making 2 now, but he can't make any more because he's met the limit of what the game will allow you to make.
By the way, those extra cannons we saw from Rain, really, really smart. He knows that the first big attack that comes to the Vipers is going to be a really tough one. If he can stomp this down, he still has a chance. Now, he does have High Templars out. Has to keep those in front of his Colossi. Has to cast those spells really, really quickly.
Well, right now, Soulkey's going to be banking a lot of larva off of all this. And it looks like we're going to have that engagement actually occur here.
Ooh, trying to pick off the High Templars. He actually ends up getting 2 of them. Psystorm is done, though, so he does get a storm up. Thing is, he has those abducts. Oh!
Nice!
Big, big move there. He still has 1 abduct, though.
Oh! Gets 1 Colossus. Hits that and will now run out. Maybe kite a few of these Zealots.
And Rain has successfully held for now. He doesn't have a ton of splash damage, though. Only 1 Colossus, 1 High Templar right now. So he's going to have to take that 4th base. Can't really attack yet. And by the time he's ready to attack, there's going to be a lot of Swarm Hosts.
Oh, my God. Another disaster here. Soulkey looking unstoppable right now. Now, a lot of this is going to be hinged on this 4th base. Not that if Rain gets the 4th base up, he wins, but the game will go on. Soulkey with an economic engine that is not to be laughed at. Here, Rain has to make this work. This attack up here specifically has to be executed perfectly. It has to result in a win for this location up here. But with the Swarm Host coming out here...
Well, if he does a lot of force fields, he's actually going to be okay, and he does throw down those force fields. He actually needs to kill that hatchery, Tasteless, but is he going to go for the Swarm Host? No, I didn't think so.
No, he's going to get the hatchery, and that was nicely done there by Rain.
Really, really well done, I'd say, Tasteless. Picking off that hatchery, a big deal. You have to keep Zerg on 4 bases.
Oh, but you know what? Look at this.
Like this.
Look at this. He's just going to send these roaches over here. This will get the Nexus.
Yeah,
as long as he keeps targeting that down.
He will. He'll be able to kill the roaches off, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, but the Nexus is so important right now. No, wait a minute. Oh my God.
Wow. Blink is pretty quick.
Brink, yeah. I just said Brink.
So this army right now is not the best suited for what he's fighting against, unfortunately. Not a lot of Colossus, not a lot of High Templars. In fact, I think no High Templars at the moment. And mostly Blink Stalkers. Very mobile, yes. Able to deal with Locusts well? Not really. So that's going to be what he's looking out for. Still a more efficient Soulkey.
He may end up sending a small group of Lings over to that 4th again to try to take that out. Meanwhile, an attack over here into this... into the entrance here of the Zerg's base, with the Swarm Hosts do get burrowed, and Locusts are released out here. And I think these Lings are going to do just what I was talking about. I don't know what kind of defense is there, but it doesn't look like it's going to be ample defense.
He actually has a Rozealots.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Rozealots plus... Ooh.
You know what? He gets it.
Yep,
Nicely done there by Soulkey.
Very good pickoff. Just enough Lings to do it. In the meantime, Rain pushing forward here. If he can knock out this base as well, that's huge. Does he have... And he actually doesn't have enough force fields, I don't think. Okay.
Oh, nice.
He pulls him on the force field, which actually lets everything down as well.
That was so sick.
Yeah, that was super
That was super.
Well,
awesome play.
That was a nice hold by Soulkey. If Rain had been able to pick that off, that would have been like a magical moment for him in this game. Just runs around killing hatcheries when Soulkey has what is supposed to be a vastly superior army. But as is, Rain is getting a better and better army. He's getting more High Templars. He has 3 War Prisms on the map. That's kind of crazy. Or no, he's lost 3 War Prisms. I'm like, what is that tab? What? How does he have 43 Zealots? There's no way. Anyways, we have...
we got Broodlords on the way, am I correct? Yeah, we do.
Broodlord Swarm Host. It's a really good tech switch for a little bit.
And it looks like there's an attack over here on the hatchery, the upper right, but it's inconsequential.
Now, we actually were casting Broodlord Swarm Host play. Who was it from in that previous round where they ended up losing a game? Where they just let the Broodlords get out of position for a moment. I can't quite remember.
I'm not... We cast too many games. But hold that thought. We have the Broodlords coming up here now. And, Rain is not really able to make a dent here. By the way, the 4th base for Rain just now up and running.
Ooh, he snipes 2 of those Infestors. Really big deal right there. You got to keep those Infestors away. You land a Fungal on that type of army with all these free units, and it is not going to go well for you.
Another huge warp in here. It looks like we have another attack that's going to be geared towards that 4th base. Again, he's just being forced to kite over and over and over again. These Locusts and Broodlords with Locusts. I mean, this doesn't cost Zerg really anything. Oh, that's weird. He actually sent that small army to the bottom left, but not into the expansion just yet.
Well, right now, Rain continuing to push forward. That little army, yeah, it's not the beefiest thing, but it's going to do okay for a little bit of counter-harassment. If he could mess up the economy at all of Rain right now, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, the damage output of those Hydras is so scary.
With a few roaches to tank, it's very...
Oh, whoa. Out of position here. Storm's on the Swarm Host, but he doesn't get a kill up on those Swarm Hosts.
And those are huge fungals right there. That's really good fungal growth. Getting rid of a lot of these stalkers. They're going to have a hard time doing anything in here now. All very, very low on health, and that's going to make Rain run away.
More Hydras and Roaches here, just doing too much damage to this Protoss army.
Oh man, that little counterattack truly is paying off. Can he actually kill this base off? The Ling's coming up to try to help out, but no other units on the way. I think he's going to be able to take that.
He needs to just move the Roach and the Hydras up a little bit closer where that Nexus is. And it looks like now we're going to have this massive counterattack. Now look at the supplies here. The economies actually are not that different, really. but the real story is the fact that the supplies are such that if Soulkey does this correctly, he actually smothers Rain with this army.
He has so many free units here, Tasteless. He has 8 Infestors, he has 8 Broodlords, and how many? Where is Swarm Host on there? What? I don't see the Swarm Host on the unit tab. Am I actually crazy?
Yeah, no,
okay, there
you are crazy. There's 12.
Okay.
No, we have the Broodlords.
I'm like, he has 12 crab things, but what about Swarm Host?
Nice harpoon there.
And this is basically a death push, Tasteless, as you were saying. There's just nothing left over from Rain. The fact that Rain made it into this close of a game after Soulkey got such a nice advantage early on is really, really impressive.
Nice throwing down a few storms here, but that's it. GG. Damn, Soulkey. Look, okay, wait. In Rain's defense, though, he played really solid. I mean, he basically got Soulkey's economy into shambles. Soulkey had to win with a counterattack.
A lesser Zerg would have died to what Rain was doing there, which is really impressive because I want to say that Soulkey got a pretty decent advantage early on. You know, the offensive hatchery kind of slowed Rain down. He went into a bunch of speedlings, and then he saved his third, which was the biggest piece of it. That was the big game changer. If Rain had killed that third base, I think that, you know, Soulkey's economy would have been hiccuped enough that the whole rest of the game would have looked a little bit different, and I think the game would definitely still be going on right now. But such is life, Tasteless.
Yeah. I mean,
solid game from both players. They're really showing that they are the best.
Now, we said if there was a map that Rain could win on, that would be the map. So far, Rain off to a bad start here. Soulkey took control of that game early on and predicted every one of Rain's counter attempts to get on top. Denied that. And the Rain, again, you know, he did do a good job, but Soulkey was just too solid. And now we're going to go with the map Whirlwind.
Whirlwind is kind of an interesting map nowadays in Protoss vs. Zerg because, well, this map not going to be as good for Swarm Host in the late game because it's just so big you can kind of circumnavigate. So we'll talk about that in a minute because the match is starting, Tasteless.
All right, guys, tell your friends to tune in here at GOMTV.net for the best esports show in the world with Tastosis. The GSL Kodas here now in game number 2 between Rain and Soulkey.
I'm excited for the way my heart is beating. I'm gonna need a right spot to help control my breathing. Communicating with bases like I can hear.